Welcome back to your Valley Sports Plugs Roundtable Live on this Tuesday evening, September 16th, 2025. I'm your host, Chris Patrick. Joining us tonight, host of the Valley of the Suplex podcast, it's Niko. And of course, my co-host, Mr. Benjamin. We're going to catch up on the Arizona Cardinals and break down week 2 a little bit. Of course, we'll have to preview week 3 as well. Your Arizona Diamondbacks are actually improbably in the wildcard hunt, if you can believe that. And we might just possibly have a little fun at the end of this stream and play some games. But let's see where the night takes us. First, fellas, how are we doing tonight, Mr. Benjamin?
Chris, I'm doing good, except for I do have a bone to pick with you. And it's because you put something out into the universe, and it really bit me in the behind this past week. You said that if you're going to win something, you can't win all three. Your team can't win, your fantasy football teams can't win, and your bets can't hit. I went 1 of 3 and damn near was close to going 0 for 3 because the Arizona Cardinals made it such a scare at the end. But your boy's sitting 0-2 in the main fantasy league. And oh my God, all my bets were not even close. I feel like Tallman from last week, but I'm doing great. I'm ready to get into it tonight. But Niko, how are you doing, man?
I cannot complain, man. Got to spend beautiful Sunday in Glendale watching the Bird Gang put it together. A little bit of tailgating, a little bit of bet placing. Want to shout out Roma Dunze for catching that touchdown on Monday night. Set up for a week's worth of betting. That is fantastic. Love that. Yeah, man. I've been hitting. Your boy's been on a streak. There's been some bumps. I didn't get the Marvin Harrison love that I wanted to get on Sunday. For my parlay, but other than that, man, I'm on an improbable run here, so I'm feeling real good, boys. I'm feeling real good.
Gotta love a heater. You gotta love a heater. And of all the streams for VSP Tallman to miss, it's the one where we talk about sports betting. I mean, fellas, honestly, football is probably my favorite sport to bet on, as frustrating as it can be at times. Niko, I'm gonna keep, hoping and riding for you to continue your heater there. I had one of my, so Mike, you said bet can't hit, team win, fantasy win. That was my proclamation that I had last week. Does it count, Niko, if you place multiple bets and only one of them hits and you make your money back, but you're even at the end of the day? Does that count?
I think if you're sitting flush, you can look at that as a success.
It's not a loss. It's like neutral, right? It's a wash.
Yeah.
Hey, this might be the mantra for this year. A win is a win, Chris. Even though you lost some, you won one, and you're even. Absolute win. I was just the bone I was picking with you is because you said at least 2 of 3 was supposed to happen, and I got screwed this past weekend. But we live to fight another day. More bets will be placed on this NFL season. I'm not going to just wait till the Super Bowl. I won't do that again, but I'm 100% with you, Chris. There's something about betting on football that just makes Sundays special. So I'm not going to have to call the 1-800-GAMBLER line anytime soon, but, some more plays will be made from Mr. Benjamin this year, and I'm ready for it.
Oof, I'm excited to see the launch of the unnamed Mr. Benjamin ticket to be named. But yeah, we'll have to maybe, I guess, revise that statement then. And it's not 2 of 3 will hit. It's max 2 of 3. So maybe it's 1, maybe it's 0, but you can never have all 3 under any circumstances. You can never have all 3. And if you do, man, then go buy a lottery ticket or something. But guys, you were boots on the ground for the Arizona Cardinals in week 2. Did a little tailgating. Looks like you guys had some fun out there. We were talking about betting. We had all the tickets you guys were placing from the parking lot before the stadium. Looks like a pretty good crowd. Guys, just tell us about what the atmosphere was like in State Farm Stadium on Sunday to kick us off.
Well, one of the things I was talking about with Niko, and I think I had said it on our last podcast as well, was, dude, I couldn't remember the last time I was there for opening week. And now, Chris, you do say it looked like it was a good crowd. There were still a lot of empty seats. And we know that's because of the history and the nature of Valley sports, right? Once this team starts settling in, hopefully starts 5-1, then you're going to see the rest of the Valley come out. But it was still a decent crowd. It was loud in there, and good Lord, was it loud with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and everybody was getting into it. But It was special, man, because I was truly trying to think back on the last time I was there for a home opener, and I think it was the year that State Farm Stadium opened. And I think the nearest closest like early game that I had went to before was Chris when we came back from Mexico and we went to see them play. I think it was the second game of the season against the Tampa Bay Bucks in 2016. So there's just something special about being there for the first time in a new calendar year for your team. And the energy was there from Arizona Cardinals fans that were there, right? We did see some blue. I think a lot of it was just Tedero and McMillan's family, to be honest with you, in there. But we dominated in attendance in regard to, I would say, at least 75, maybe 80-20. And the place was pumping in that first half. But you know what happened in the second half. We're going to get into it. But I want to let Niko share his thoughts on what it was like being with the Red Sea on Sunday.
Yeah, man, it was kind of like what you said, Mike. I can't remember the last time I've been to a home opener. Or even if I really had ever been to one. It was nice because the Panthers fan base, no disrespect, they don't travel that well. They're kind of their fan base very similar to where we probably were when we were in the Sun Devil Stadium phase. So there's probably some similarities there. But the most blue we did see was Tedero McMillan's family. They were all over the place. That clan runs deep. There's a lot of people in that family for sure. The vibe was electric, man. The way that the Cardinals started off with the turnover, rolling over the ball into the end zone, the fucking crowd set a tone for the home crowd. Also, like, I don't know last time I've been in the stadium and we weren't the minority as a fan base. So it was nice to be in that stadium and not be the minority for once as far as a fan goes, and for us to actually have like a real home game. We can touch on all the other stuff later, but man, the energy at a home opener, it's electric. Everybody's optimistic. There's hope in the air. We started out 1-0. We have a chance to go 2-0. Like, I saw the graphic today, man. The Cardinals are still lit up on that unbeaten graphic. I can't remember the last time I remember that popping up. So, like, call it what you want, ugly wins, failures and collapses in the back end of the game, but a dub is a dub. And I think Mike's right. That's going to be the fucking mantra all year long.
It's got to be. I mean, you can't be picky about a win, and especially in any professional sport, not to mention the professional sport where the least amount of games are played. So every game counts. And yeah, I do want to talk about the performance a little bit. And I just hear a lot of frustration. It's so interesting that we're kind of talking about our perspective being a win's a win when there's a lot of emotional fans. And I know in the heat of the moment, it happens, but a lot of people are already calling for coordinators' heads. And I heard one guy on the post-game radio show was, I think he was just tired of all the coaching platitudes that they give in these press conferences where it's like, there's just a few things we got to clean up. And he goes, well, this place should be as clean as a surgical room by now with all the cleaning we've been doing over the last 2-3 seasons. So at what point is it going to get cleaned up? But obviously there's more to it than just, play calls or the players. There's a lot going on. Mike, I guess where I kind of want to start with the performance on Sunday is the amount of injuries that were sustained, specifically in the secondary for the Cardinals.
Oy vey, gentlemen, especially being in the building for the explosion that it seemed like to start that game, right? Niko already talked about how the defense puts their foot on the Panthers really to start. Josh Sweat finally gets home. We're happy. We're starting to see the dividends. Matt Wilson, gets pressure on Bryce Young early as well, forcing an interception. And the Arizona Cardinals were in control of this game for the first half for sure, and the first half of the third quarter. But, I mean, we started to see those injuries start early. I mean, that's when Max Melton slammed his knee. Guys, I don't know if you saw the play back, but when he tried to make that tackle running at Tedero, he slammed his knee into the ground. And then, obviously, I think some of the other bigger ones was in the second half. You saw Will Johnson go down for a little bit, but then he ended up coming back and then having to leave once again for a groin injury and then Garrett Williams getting some kind of friendly fire a little bit. I think people were trying to say that it was a non-contact injury, but Buddha slammed right into the bottom of him when Hunter Renfroe was grabbing his second touchdown. And before a blink of an eye, you're looking at the split corners, and it's Keitrell Clark and Denzel Burke, like guys that you didn't think were going to get true playing time outside of certain packages this year. And those guys had to step up when the Carolina Panthers had a chance to win this game somehow miraculously. You have to give them props. But there is absolutely automatic cause for concerns if one or multiple of these guys are lost for the season. I think, man, guys, we are scared to see what we're going to hear about specifically Max Melton and Garrett Williams. A lot more people have been leaning more towards thinking that the severity is going to be worse for Garrett Williams than it is for Max Melton. I think people are hopeful that Max was just kind of like a real knockdown, like bone bruise. But anytime you see somebody get carted off the field where they can't even put pressure to walk off, oof, that's a bad look. So, man, what a weird way to start 2-0, right? The Valley and fans should be absolutely ecstatic, but it's always kind of tough because you truly were playing some of the worst teams in the NFL and you barely held on for dear life. And I know we're going to touch on the offense coming up here soon, but we're still crossing our fingers. I imagine we're going to hear news about what these injury outlooks look for the cornerback room tomorrow. And I'm going to be doing maybe a rosary tonight, doing some extra prayers for those guys because we
got to do something. Got to do something. We need those guys. Yeah, man, it's not going to be a very good thing for us if we lose even two of those guys, but God forbid we lose all three. You're talking about three cornerbacks off the street who were unemployed for the last 2 weeks, didn't do an entire preseason potentially. I mean, I'm sure there's guys out there that did get cut in preseason or on practice squads, but, maybe I'm being dramatic there, but it's still, bad situation, hoping for the best. And I did hear that, Mike, that we are expecting tomorrow. And I believe I heard, could be misreporting here. But I believe they said that they were trying out some practice squad guys today in preparation for those moves tomorrow. So more
I got a list for that.
Yeah, perfect.
So it looks like, and this also gives you like, oh no, something happened, right? Because they brought in 3 different guys today for workouts, guys, 3 different defensive backs, Andrew Booth, Shamar Bartholomew, and Iko Boyedo. So very non-household names, right? I think the closest one was Andrew Booth, who was a second rounder in the 2022 draft by the Minnesota Vikings. Only played 2 years in Minnesota, then I think for the Dallas Cowboys, and then just didn't make it roster. So yeah, there was also speculations of maybe James Bradbury, who's played with Jonathan Gannon in the past, as well as Stephon Gilmore, who we know is 34 years old, is a little bit up there, but I think he had a solid season with the Minnesota Vikings last year. So there's options. It's a heart wrencher to have to go to these options going into week 3. Yeah.
I mean, Mike, here's what they really should do. They should call Patrick Peterson and tell him, look, we need you, man. We need you. One more. No, I'm kidding. We don't want old ass Patrick Peterson getting burned out there. But yeah, not a great situation. Hopefully it doesn't get to desperate times, call for desperate measures. Niko, I guess I kick it over to you first to start dissecting this offensive performance a little bit. You can see on the graphic here, James Conner, 34 yards. As a team, I believe they only had 82, but 30 of those yards was a single Kyler Murray run. So a lot of people today are saying if you take out those 30 yards, you're only talking about 52 yards of total rushing offense for this team. It was kind of the hallmark of this Arizona Cardinals team last year. As far as concern goes, and we're going to probably use that word concern a lot tonight, what concerns you most about the run game, if at all?
You kind of said it, Chris. This is very uncharacteristic for this Jonathan Gannon team for us to be 34 yards rushing from James Conner, guys. It is not great. Not great at all. In order to get Kyler free and the offense and the passing game free, we need to have success running. If we don't have success running the football, then I'm sorry, Kyler's not going to sit there and pick people apart like he's Peyton Manning. He's not going to be able to do that. We need things going in a positive direction for Kyler to really start getting this offense rolling. Without the run game, you're putting a lot of pressure on Kyler Murray directly to, one, make plays with his feet, which we know he can. Obviously, he showed that in that 30-yard run. Thought it was a bit funny that he threw the ball 15 feet into the air after, it was a great play, but we had been struggling on offense. And then, I'm sure that there was a big, explosion of emotion as soon as that happens. But it kind of is just like watching a video buffer. It feels like the run game stops and then starts and stops and starts and then it stops and starts, and then the offense kind of does the same thing, and then Kyler's getting skittish back there like he's dodging bullets, a lot of this hinges on James Conner getting the fuck off. Let's not make ifs, ands, or buts about it, guys. That's our best offensive player, and that man needs to get his, and he needs to get his from the jump. So when we're sitting there running 1-2 yard chunk running plays, that is a concern for me. That's a huge concern. James Conner's a running back that should be averaging fucking 4 yards a carry just by falling forward. I don't know. I know that we're not supposed to press the panic button here, but when I don't see, it's got to work in all parts, passing, rushing. The whole thing has to work as a symbiotic fucking organism, and it's not working as a symbiotic organism. We are hoping that Kyler bails us out. We are hoping that Marv is open 45 yards down the field because we don't have a second and third wide receiver that can run over the fucking middle and make a goddamn play, because your boy has been tooting that trumpet all goddamn offseason about how we need a second receiver, and everybody says, no, Michael Wilson. Guys, let me be real. I thought Michael Wilson's real name was Micah for the first 3 years he played here. That's about as impactful as he's been in our fucking franchise. So I'm a little concerned. We're stealing from the poor right now. We are stealing from the poor, and God forbid we play a team that's worth even half a damn. And they are going to absolutely just dog walk us off the field. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, and I think that test is going to start this upcoming week, gentlemen, in Santa Clara. Even without Brock Purdy, sounds like already. This San Francisco 49ers team is so beat up, and we're going to get into that as well. But yeah, I got to touch on the offense, because if you really look at it, gentlemen, the Cardinals were up 27-3 with 9 minutes left in the third quarter. They put together a great 2-minute drive, scored with 4 seconds left to go up by 17, and then they come out and just put together an incredible drive to take that lead. But the offensive line is they a lot of people are saying they miss the offensive line coach Clayton Adams, who went to the Dallas Cowboys, and Justin Fry is obviously just not cutting it right now. I was looking at the penalties from this past week, and every single offensive lineman, I think outside of I think Isaiah Adams had one. Everybody but one, who I think it was Evan Brown, had a penalty, and had Isaiah Adams had 2 holding penalties. Froholt had a face mask penalty. When you get face mask penalties on the offensive side, that's ridiculous. But what do we know about this system, gentlemen? Is this offense is predicated on running the football. And now it also seems like if they're going to do anything through the air, it's to check downs to the running backs or to the tight ends, right? Elijah Higgins had some nice catches, and it seems like Trey McBride is going to consistently be your leading receiver every single week, because our offensive system right now doesn't know how to fit in the wide receivers at all. I'm pretty sure Zay Jones didn't have a target this week. Greg Dortch had 1 catch as well, and then Michael Wilson had 1 again, right? granted, it was a beautiful touchdown, and he had another one that ended up being called back from a Trey McBride holding penalty. But the bad issue here is when you're up by so much and then you play super conservative, the team's sitting in zone coverage, they're basically playing prevent from halfway in the third quarter, you see 19 unanswered points because when the running game is not running, they're not willing to just go and completely throw it like crazy because they have a substantial lead. But then when you need it, when you absolutely need it to salt away the game, this team does not have the true offensive system in the air consistently. That's the thing. It's the consistency still, right? You guys, we still have to be honest here. Kyler Murray through his first 2 weeks has been solid. Like, don't get me wrong. 17 to 25, 220 and a touchdown, but he's still out here making these weird decisions for a 7th-year quarterback when you're almost in the red zone and not taking a sack instead of trying to throw the ball away. How is that mental lapse happening at this point in his career? You can't put all of that. You can't put an almost loss on the back of Kyler Murray because he throws that interception, right? But we're having completely different conversations if he just takes the sack and then Chad Ryland goes out there and makes it 30-9. Then we're not even worried about Mac Wilson. What the hell is he doing on Hand's team? You know, like we're not even having these discussions about a Panthers team having the ball with 2 minutes left to go and win the game. So this offensive system right now is absolutely in flux, especially if they cannot run the ball like they did dominantly last year, which was a top 5 NFL rushing attack. And I'm going to keep harping on this. And I think it really comes down to these players not playing in the preseason and being ready to play 60 minutes of football, guys. You know, we're still waiting for them to work the kinks out going into weeks 4 and 5 in this regime. And it needs to change next year, or else we're going to continue to see these weird lapses to start seasons.
100%. And I think there's more than that we're going to have to see change, but it's of course going to depend on how the rest of the season goes. But based off what we've seen so far, guys, small sample size, but I am unimpressed, specifically with the performance of Drew Petzing and Kyler Murray. And I haven't quite yet been able to put my finger on directly who's responsible and how much responsibility Jonathan Gannon has in that as well. I do like Jonathan Gannon, though. I like him a lot. Mike, it's funny you mentioned there Kyler being a 7-year quarterback, kind of making uncharacteristic mistakes for a guy that's been in the league that long. Even if you say 6-year quarterback, give him the mulligan year. I don't know. A question I was wondering, and I actually don't, now that I think about it a little more, and maybe you guys can keep me honest here, I don't think Kyler Murray is calling any plays except for maybe in like the 2-minute drill at best. But like most quarterbacks, veteran quarterbacks, they start having reign at certain points in the game to start calling their own plays and running the offense. Now I get Drew Petzing is still fairly new, I think 3rd season, right? But it's something's not working here. I don't know if it's Kyler. I don't know if it's Drew, but one of them for sure is going to have to go. And I'm not ready to revisit the Kyler conversation yet. It's too early. And anyone who's listened to us on our streams before knows exactly how I feel about Kyler. But I am willing to give him the rest of this season to see what he can do. But so far, small sample size, not super impressed. But fellas, we're going to have to move on and look ahead to what is next, and that is a trip out to the Bay in the San Francisco area of California to play the 49ers and quarterback Mac Jones, who actually didn't do too bad in his game this last week against New Orleans. He threw for 279 yards, 3 touchdowns, quarterback rating of 113. Only got sacked 3 times. We know that the 49ers supporting cast isn't too bad despite the injuries. Man, I mean, if Mac Jones finds success with this 49ers team, Brock Purdy will never, ever beat the game manager allegations.
Oh, man, is this me to start? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, Mike.
So, poor Brock Purdy. I mean, he's a solid guy. I definitely wouldn't put him top 10, but, he's done what he needed to do to start his career within his time frame with the San Francisco 49ers. And the flush of weapons that they had over there. But we know this about teams. Not everybody can get paid. So you start seeing some of those weapons leave. And then now this team has just been absolutely hampered with injuries, right? We already know. I think they already said Brock is probably not going to play this Sunday if the expectation or the hopefulness is that he will be back for week 4. But they got hit again in New Orleans. I mean, Juwan Jennings, he's listed as questionable with the ankle injury right now. Their fullback Kyle Juszczyk left the game with a concussion. So who knows? He might be out and still in protocol as well. They lost 2 offensive linemen in New Orleans as well, and Ben Barch and Spencer Buford. And Christian McCaffrey just doesn't seem to be the same kind of guy right now. But you take everything with a grain of salt, what Mac Jones did in New Orleans. But it also kind of puts a snapshot into where the Arizona Cardinals sit too, because we literally just played them. And Kyler Murray did throw 2 touchdowns, but, you know, Mac Jones was able to kind of, it seemed like, seal that game away. And this is going to be the first true test here, gentlemen. We know Ricky Pearsall, you're going to have to watch out for him. Nick Bosa leads this team with 2 sacks. Fred Warner is still a menace. Like, they still have guys and they still have a great coach to put them in positions to win every week. And just like us, they've already, well, I guess not like us, they already have a division win since they started up in Seattle. Both of their games have been on the road that they've won right now. And they're probably riding super high going back home with that type of performance from your backup quarterback. But my main snapshot, I got to say about this team, for the Arizona Cardinals to see success this upcoming Sunday, you're going to have to change the mentality about pressuring this quarterback. You're going to have to make it uncomfortable from him from the jump. And if you do get a double-digit lead, you don't sit back into prevent. Because if you're missing 2 or 3 of the corners, guys, let's be brutally honest. We are going to be missing all 3 of those guys this Sunday. You're going to have to get creative and start. You can't just rush 3 and 4. This is where the team ranks right now, FTN Fantasy, for specific items in regard to team pass rush rankings. Pressure percentage, they're 23rd. QB hit rate, they're 24th. Sack rate, they're 26th. And blitz rate, they are dead last in the NFL. So if this team is going to hold on, and, you know, how we've been super confident about, well, if we are going up and we only have 1 possession lead down the stretch of these games, we're absolutely 100% confident in our defense. It always takes a hit when you lose 3 starters. So you're going to have to change that mentality, start bringing 5-6, making it super uncomfortable for Mac Jones and making him make mistakes the same way that you did against Bryce Young earlier. Then the offense has to capitalize early and often. So this is going to be a fun one. You know how exciting it always is when division matchups start coming your way. But those are some of the keys that I'm looking at from this Arizona Cardinals team if they want to get it done, man.
Right. And I love it. You know, it starts early and throughout the season, just kind of the chess match of football that you don't really realize. So I am going to also, Mike, right there along with you, be very interested and eager to see what the adjustments look like and how those impact the play. And if we do see anything different, or if it's just going to be more of the same. But Niko, I mean, at the top of the show here, we were talking about sports betting. ESPN Bet has the Arizona Cardinals at +1.5. They're a favorite to win this game, actually, on the road. How do you like their odds this Sunday?
I'm surprised they're a favorite. That's crazy.
Well, I will say the only place that I've seen that them listed today as a favorite still was ESPN. Everything else has changed now. The Niners are -1.5 on DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesars, all of it. So they're worried about that cornerback secondary right now too.
Let's see. I'm going to pull up. There's a website that aggregates all the betting sites. Let me pull that up real quick. But go ahead, Niko.
Yeah, I mean, if the case is now that we're, the underdogs, I'll probably take the bet. Honestly, man, this is a game if I had no vested interest, I wouldn't bet on. I would stay away from with a 10-foot pole because We're talking a 1.5 spread. Two teams that probably aren't very good. I mean, you just don't. There's no consistency between the two clubs. I know that the Niners are 2-0, Cardinals are 2-0, but like you got Mac Jones starting, you have a sputtering Cardinals offense, you have the Niners are injured from hell to high water. Like it would be a game I wouldn't honestly touch with my own money if I wasn't a Cardinals fan. But because I'm a Cardinals fan, I'm going to lean heavily on the Cardinals as the underdog. And hope to God that we have some sort of magical cornerback play. FanDuel still has them.
Yeah, so FanDuel, it looks like most have adjusted back to plus 1.5.
Plus,
at least however this whenever it pulls. Let's see, we got Bally's. Maybe you have to be a member to see more of them, or my screen's just not big enough. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know that I don't know that I have enough faith in either one of these teams to jump on either one of those.
Yeah, here, and money line's a little different, so that kind of shows that it's like basically they're calling it a coin toss at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, and think about the game last year in Santa Clara, right? It was 24-23. It was literally a 1-point game. So
that's true.
The tough situation about this, I think, for where a 2-0 team sits, I think there's a lot of non-confidence in this Arizona Cardinals team with the way that they have. Yes, they ended up winning games, but they made it so much harder than they needed to with having double-digit leads late into games. And especially, I mean, guys, if the Arizona Cardinals lose this past game against the Carolina Panthers by giving up 25 unanswered points, I think you lose utterly all confidence, even after week 2 in this offensive system, maybe even leadership team at that point. Those are unacceptable losses, but we don't have to talk about that, right? It didn't happen, thank goodness. But there's also been a lot of people who have said, look at the list. The Arizona Cardinals are the worst 2-0 team out there. So if you got two 2-0 teams going up against each other, you're going to give the edge to a team like the San Francisco 49ers, even with all of the injuries that they've had. You just had an absolutely great performance from their quarterback, granted, maybe against one of the worst defenses in the league, but you have a team that already beat a division opponent. That team is always going to catch the edge. So, and they're at home, right?
And if nothing else, the home field advantage of it all. And I think, it's not hyperbole to say that the first 2 weeks of the season for this Cardinals team, they were must-win games. And I know that's a crazy thing to say, your first 2 games of the season. But if you look at how bad these teams are and how bad they're projected to be, like you're talking double-digit losses guaranteed, if not, definitely in the teens, probably in the teens, easily. These teams are going to be bad. We know that. And I'm sticking by my preseason prediction that we did on Heat Check podcast. And I think the Cardinals I still think they're going to win here. I think the adjustments are going to be made. The injuries throw a little bit of a wrinkle into it, but both teams are real banged up, are going to be shorthanded. Mike is right. Christian McCaffrey hasn't exactly been looking like himself. And their receiving core isn't, quite what it once was as well. But it, again, is a division game. We're in Santa Clara. Anything could happen. So we'll be really eager to see, and we'll keep an eye on that for sure. But fellas, let's keep this pushing for the sake of time. And we got to talk about your Arizona Diamondbacks. Oh my God, this season, guys, has there ever been a season like this? That's just, I don't know if you feel this way. Niko, you're in that building a lot more than any of us. Has it just been dragging out? Like it's never going to end? Am I alone there?
No, this is the longest fucking MLB season I've ever endured in my entire life. I swear to God, the season should have ended fucking 3 months ago. I looked down at my thing and I'm like, how do we still have 3 homestands? I don't, like, what? Like, Yeah, and it's because we sucked, and then we got hot, and then we kind of sucked again, and then we got hot, and then kind of sucked again. It's like we're watching 3 different seasons play out based on which team decides to show up at the ballpark. So it's no wonder that it feels like we're sitting 370 games as opposed to 167 or whatever the hell it ends up being. But like, my Lord, it is starting to feel a little long in the tooth sitting out there in the bullpen, boys. It's I'm ready for playoff baseball. I did get the email today from the Diamondbacks, which I've been curious to see if this was coming or not. Or I got the email from the Diamondbacks that says, "Hey, just so you know, we're in possible playoff contention. Season ticket holders can get their playoff tickets." And I went, okay, I'm kind of excited that they decided to pump the brakes until we were a game and a half out, because the Brewers are already offering us fucking NLCS championship tickets. And and the Diamondbacks were like, well, let's hold off before let's get within a game and a half before we let them know that there may be playoffs here. So it was nice to see that, but there's also that superstition where you go, we know when the playoffs are. You don't have to fucking send us an email. We know where the team is. Like, we don't need it. We don't need any of your. We're aware. The people that need to be aware and need to be in the ballpark during that time will be there. We're aware. We're real fans. You don't got to send us an email. You don't got to put the shit out in the universe. I'm very superstitious. Fucking can it. Don't send me that email. I don't need it.
Yeah, I wonder what percentage of people, or even, I guess to be more specific, even just like season ticket holders would be like, oh yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go to the playoffs or not. I don't know if I'd be interested in that. No, they're gonna know. That's a great point. But Mike,
Like,
no, yeah, go ahead, Niko. I meant to say Niko. Like, I am surprised. I am like with you there on the superstitious part of it. But go ahead.
no, I was just saying, like, I just think it's funny, man. Like, we would never have an issue selling out a playoff game. You don't need to remind people. That email, I know that that's just somebody's job, and that poor dude or poor woman gets paid a good amount of money to click send on that fucking mass email. But like, my God, man, we don't need that. And I don't know. These players don't get those emails, but in my head, these players get those emails because they come from the team. So in my head, it's immediate superstition. But yeah, it'll be this the way this is ending out. It'll be a fucking great couple of weeks here. It will feel long though. It will feel like a whole nother season probably within the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, and Niko, actually, they might not get the exact same email, but they get an email because of the WAGs. That is the wives and girlfriends of the players. I'm expecting children and extended family as well. So they got to get their playoff tickets too. So yeah, I don't know. That seems risky this far out, but hey, business is business. Got to make that money so we can get more players on the roster. Mike, speaking of players on the roster, it's funny Niko mentions it being like 3 different seasons, and with the construction of these lineups, it kind of feels that way too. There are guys that we have never heard of. Ildemaro Vargas, obviously we've heard of him, but he's in there regularly now. You got the Nabil Chrismat, the pitcher. Tyler Locklear was on first for a while, but now he's injured, and they're just it's like patchwork now. How have you been thinking about the play of this new Diamondbacks team here in their 3rd iteration or 4th, maybe? I can't even keep track anymore.
I know, and it's not even just new faces coming into the fold, Chris. It's guys that are staple players basically changing their stars at this point. First guy you got to touch on is Zach Gallen, guys. I mean, last night, 1 run, 2 hits, 6 strikeouts. His ERA has finally dropped under 5. He's at 4.73 after basically living +5 the entirety of the season from how he started. I mean, his last 5 starts have been absolutely stellar. Obviously, besides his last outing in San Francisco. But since the trade deadline, in just over 53 innings, 2.68 ERA, 1.01 whip, a 200 batting average, and 7 Ks per 9 innings. That's the Zach Gallen that Arizona Diamondbacks fans know. And when we needed it the most, he is starting to clutch up. Another guy who you can talk about who has had long-term yips within his short career is Jordan Lawlar. But, they sat him yesterday because I think of, his 2 errors that he had in Minnesota where he kind of struggled in the field. Comes in, hits a pinch hit double, brings in a run. And you, like you were already talking about, then you got these brand newcomers like James McCann, who's hitting a 2-run homer. And what is the most critical series of this season so far? But the big one for me, in specifically to guys who have really changed their stars and who's becoming an absolute household name in MLB circuits, guys, is Geraldo Perdomo. I mean, unfreaking believable what this guy has been able to do. Last night alone, he was perfect from the plate, 3 for 3, double, a triple, 2 RBIs. We know that his plate discipline is unmatched. He has 2 walks, and he also has a run. And he's sitting at 19 home runs, 97 RBIs for a shortstop, which is just absolutely ridiculous, and 26 stolen bases. No Diamondbacks player in history has ever had a 20 home run, 100 RBI, and a 25 stolen base season. And it will be Geraldo Perdomo because he is just absolutely raking right now and is unmatched at the shortstop position right now. They've also been talking about his wins above the replacements, where he's the most in the National League at 6.6. But this team overall as a whole, guys, I mean, this is so improbable. It's hard to wrap your head around where the Diamondbacks are sitting right now. You just think about what this team did. They lost their heavy the guy that they paid a whole bunch of money in Corbin Burns. You lost a guy who was having the best outfield hitting in September or in August in Lourdes Gurriel Jr. You lost guys like AJ Puck and Justin Martinez, who it seems like have been gone for so long now because they were injured so long ago. But then you traded away huge pieces in Gino, Josh Naylor, Merrill, and Randall Grichuk. Where this team sits, and when we started this podcast tonight, guys, or this live stream, the Diamondbacks were down 4-0 pretty early. I think, you can talk about Erod, who has had some way better outings the past couple of times out. Struggled to start, but got into the fold. And now the Diamondbacks are sitting at a 1-run game looking to take the lead right now. So it's been a long season because we've been all over the map. It's been the roller coaster, right? This team plays with our emotions so much. I feel like they play with our emotions more than any of the teams in the Valley, especially right now, because coming off of a World Series run, there are always higher expectations. And when this team goes just like this, I think one of the bigger, this will be my last stat that I throw at you guys, one of the bigger things where it's led the Diamondbacks into sitting where they are is, they lead all of baseball in blown leads at 43 games, right? 14 of those, the Diamondbacks have led by at least 3 runs, blown the lead, and lost. So just think of if we have a halfway competent bullpen, this team is sitting probably in first place in the NL West, but they continue to grind it out. They continue to fight. And I'm a hell of a lot excited for this season to get even longer, Chris. Why not? Why not us?
Man, that's where I'm at now. I'm along for the ride. It feels like at this point we're playing with house money. We felt like when they sold everyone off at the trade deadline that was the white flag and we were done. And I was like, we're just going to get lazy, not entertaining baseball for the next 2 months as this season just kind of fades into oblivion. And it's not been that. It's actually been intriguing to watch this team. And like it feels like a completely different team. It really does. I was kind of thinking today, like, obviously I'm not an idiot. I know it wouldn't happen, but I was like, what if when we make the playoffs, if we made it, we get Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez back? Like that's like a rule that we're allowed to get them back because we made the playoffs. They're going to get a ring if we were to somehow make it and win the World Series, right? So like let them come back. But no, I mean, we gotta play the hand we've been dealt. But Niko, I do actually I wasn't going to go on this tangent, but now I am going to go on this tangent just because I'm curious about it. And I really want one of your guys' opinion on it. Jordan Lawlar, Mike mentioned that double that he hit in that last game. Almost a home run, almost his first career home run, super close. Now that he's playing better, I think a lot of fans are warming up to the idea of him being an everyday guy next year, and we might need him to be. However, Mike also talked about Geraldo Perdomo, who is going to be holding down the shortstop position for a while. I know despite all the reporting about Ketel Marte and some of the stuff going on there, I don't expect us to see the D-backs get rid of the best second baseman in all of baseball. I mean, anything's possible. But with that being said, assuming those two guys are going to be there, that would presumably leave third base for Jordan Lawlar there in the hot corner. How comfortable are you with that? And how open potentially would you be to him maybe getting some outfield?
Yeah, so I'm not necessarily open to him in that third base spot. And my reasoning is, I guess I'll backtrack a little bit. At the All-Star break, at the trade deadline, when we sent away Josh Naylor, I sat on this podcast and I said, anybody but Gino. Anybody but Gino. Because I had a feeling we were going to fucking find ourselves a game and a half out of a wild card race with Tyler Locklear and the boys from Lowe's holding it down. It becomes a little worrisome. But I don't like Jordan Lawlar at third base because I like Gino Suarez at third base. And I have a very strong belief that Gino's coming back to Arizona in the offseason. And I do believe that we will pay him. And I felt that when we traded him. I felt it from the fucking jump. Bring him in, let Lawlar get outfield. What's up?
Okay. Niko, I'm with you to an extent. And I actually am not going to express an opinion here, but where you're headed here, I'm curious now if this changes your perspective. I've heard, and John Gambadoro has reported this, Gino Suarez coming back, yes, playing first base, Lawlar at third. What do you think about that?
I'm much more open to that because I don't care for Pavin Smith at all. I know that Torrey just loves to milk that cow, but that ain't my player.
Hold on, that gets me tingling in certain places, gentlemen. Are you kidding me? You know my thoughts on Jordan Lawlar, right? I think they've done a good job of giving him everyday at bats as he can, and he started to capitalize on that. This next season, with where this team sits in regard to the injuries, still, you're going to have to ride with him. You need to see if he is truly a part of this future next year. So, Niko, as much as I'd love to have Gino Suarez back next year, it cannot be at the expense of having Jordan Lawlar just be some fill-in mix-up guy. We already have that guy, and it's Blaze Alexander, and he's a guy who's going to have to do the same exact type of thing. Now, it seems like he's going to get more opportunities in the outfield now that Lourdes is going to be done for, probably most, if not all of next season. And we know that Blaze gets those kind of days off for Ketel and Perdomo, but you got to get Jordan Lawlar on the field as much as possible because next season trade deadline, when it comes around, if he isn't a guy that is producing, then you need to make that decision and try to get and garner capital back for hopefully next year making a playoff run in itself.
Yeah, I mean, so Niko, I don't know if maybe did you ever you open to that potentially? Because we need to do something about first base. I'm with you there. Like Pavin Smith is not it. And I was gonna say real quick, Mike, you should make that meme of like the cow where it's like Old Faithful. It's like the real skinny cow that's been milked to death, and it's just Pavin Smith, and then Torey Lovello's rolling up with the buckets. That's what I pictured.
Oh, we can make something creative with AI nowadays too.
With the AI too.
Let's start pulling that together.
I'm thinking like 2012 memes. Mike's on like a 2048 kick with the memes. I love it. But Niko, go ahead, man.
Honestly, guys, like I'm fucking exhausted with the Jordan Lawlar shit. I'm fucking exhausted with it. Like it's the past 3 years have been the same fucking song and dance. Because we brought him up and tried to do the whole Corbin Carroll thing. Like, we're making a playoff run, bring him in, let him be an impactful part of the playoff run, get his little toes wet, and then we do this fucking dance. Come back, go down, come back, go down, come back, go down. And now he's made himself a part of the lineup, but only because we have had nothing but disastrous injuries and trades because we don't have anybody to play the goddamn position. So at this point, I feel almost as organization has made it very clear as to how they view Jordan Lawlar and what he can contribute to this team. And I think you cut bait and you fucking send his ass somewhere else. Otherwise, we're going to get in a situation like we did with Drew Jones, where we're just stuck with whatever we got, and we can't get anything good for it, and then they're rotting in Hillsborough. So, I don't know. Man. Look, I think Jordan Lawlar is a very good baseball player, and I think he can contribute on a major league scale. I think he needs a change of scenery. I don't think it's in Arizona. I think it needs to be somewhere else.
Niko, I actually don't necessarily disagree, and I honestly kind of like where you're going with that, because it gets me thinking this is almost the best of both worlds, because now they have options going into this offseason, right? Say they do like this, they want to roll out and start with this Suarez Lawlar at third base. That's fine. What if you don't secure Suarez to come back, and regardless, Lawlar's going to be at third, but now, more questions to be asked. So you're either potentially able to trade Lawlar this offseason because now he's boosted his stock a little bit. He's gotten the yips out. He's showing that he can produce and be effective at the major league level. So you're starting to build value now. You could gamble and, have him start to build value again the beginning of next season and still potentially be able to move off of him before the trade deadline. Don't know how high in demand, hitting for average shortstops are, but you never know. He is advertised to be, better at defense than the average Bear, I should say. He's supposed to be, but he has been making errors. So it's like, I want him to clean it up. But regardless, I don't know. I'm not opposed. All that to say, I'm not opposed to cutting ties with him. I have said that before, but now that he's doing better, I'm also open to him staying. So be interesting to see how the rest of the season shakes out. But Mike, last thing before we move off the Diamondbacks, just as far as next year in the roster construction. Before that, though, you're pulling up the game tonight. It is tied 5-5 in the bottom of the sixth. Looks like McCarthy's getting pinch hit for by Jorge Barosa. But yeah, I mean, if you're listening back on the playback here next day, you know how this game ended. But if you're tuning in with us live here on YouTube, we thank you so much. We do go live every Tuesday around 7 p.m. You can like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and it'll let you know 30 minutes before we're scheduled to go live, and it'll let you know when we go live as well if you have those notifications on. And that's right here, YouTube, Valley Sports Plug. You can also follow us at AZ_VSP on Instagram, X, TikTok, everywhere that you can find us. We're probably at AZ_VSP. And worst case, in the description below, just click our link tree and you can find us everywhere. Guys, last thing I wanted to talk about Diamondbacks related and next year's roster construction. I know we're kind of going long, but Mike, Zach Gallen, you mentioned he's pitching better. We're going to have to make a decision on him next year. He's technically a free agent. We can float the qualifying offer. We can make him a bigger offer, or we could just let him walk entirely. What way are you leaning as far as what you think they should do?
Well, I think it was going to be different conversations if he were to continue how he pitched basically the 2/3 of this season. But, I already went over the stats of what he's pitched since the trade deadline: 2.68 ERA, 200 batting average. He's still a hot commodity, and he is still a borderline number one for the majority of MLB teams. So he's going to command so much money, guys. Is this front office willing to bite the bullet and pay two starting pitchers, over $200 million? I don't think so. And I guess to answer my own question, I don't think I would feel comfortable with doing that either, specifically in a situation where what is the true outlook for this team next year? I think what they've done, obviously, the last 2 months gives you promise, because a lot of these guys are going to be your everyday guys next year as well. But, committing that much money to somebody like Zach Gallen, who we have held in such high regard for so long, right? He's become one of the longest tenured Diamondbacks that we've seen in the past decade. Does it truly make sense to pay what he's going to command? And I don't know if I'm willing to do that for this team that has so many more, areas that really need to be addressed. We already talked about first base because Tyler Locklear is just not the long-term answer. This entire bullpen is going to have to be worked over. You have some young guys that you like, but are they true long-term answers? Taylor Rashi had a great outing last night, 2 innings of clean ball, but, then has some really big mistakes, which lead to a loss in the last game of that Boston Red Sox series. But you can't hold it against all those kind of guys. But I just feel like there's too much money to be moved around in other areas than trying to sink another $200 million into a guy who next year will be your number one ace for sure. But when Corbin Burns comes back, he needs to be the number one guy, right? So it's a tough pill to swallow with the Zach Gallen conversations, guys, because I was hopeful that he would be around for a very long time. But I think we also knew in the back of our minds that this day would come and these conversations were going to have to be had.
Right. And I mean, we can't forget how frustrated we were with him for the majority of this season. His success is just coming recently and at the end of a really tough season. But Mike, I mean, you're right for a lot of reasons. We're going to have $50 million ish tied up in contracts next year that aren't even going to be guys on the field. Talking about Corbin Burns, Gurriel Jr., Justin Martinez, all rehabbing pretty gnarly injuries. The only light, I am kind of warming up to potentially bringing back Zach Gallen, whether that's on like a 1-year prove it deal, or honestly, if we can get maybe a not necessarily a hometown discount, but some type of friendly deal. Like, look, you didn't do great last year, but we like you, whatever. But whatever that looks like, the only route I see where I would be okay with that is if you can get rid of this Eduardo Rodriguez contract, if you can find someone to take that $21 million and all of it. And I'm talking all of it. I'm not talking half of it or 3/4. I'm talking some sucker out there has to want to take it all. And I could be wrong, but I believe Rodriguez has enough service time to have that built-in no trade clause that their collective bargaining agreement has. So I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if it's possible. I know Erod did want to be here initially, and then we were all super excited, but he sucks, man. Niko, I don't know. With all that being said, between me and Mike, I'm just curious what you think about the prospect of Zach Gallen rejoining the squad next season.
I think that the organization made it very clear this year, guys. You go in the team shop, tell me how many Zach Gallen jerseys you see in there versus how many Corbin Burns jerseys you see in there. Why don't you go ahead and tell me why Zach Gallen didn't have his number and name on the back of a Serpientes jersey this year in the team shop? Because the team fucking made it known. They don't mass produce jerseys of players that probably aren't going to be there. And if I'm Zach Gallen, I don't know, man. I would feel a little spit in this, a little disrespected for the tenure that I put in with the Diamondbacks. Kind of did feel like, and this is just observation as a fan, walking into the team shop, you saw the Corbin Burns stuff, and I understand he's the big fancy toy, and everything's new and it's glamorous and all that kind of stuff. But Zach has been your workhorse. So why isn't there any kind of representation for Zach? So when I see that, I go, oh, it's kind of written on the wall that this is how they feel, that Corbin is brought in to replace Zach Gallen. They'll play together for 2 years, and then it'll be gone. And honestly, it kind of sucks, kind of bums me out because I really like Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen won me over as an Arizona sports. He sat there and he petitioned for purple. And he's warming up in the throwback hats, whether they're wearing it or not. Zach Gallen really, really it meant something to me as a sports fan. See him on the mound and to see him dominant and to see him do the things he did. So I'm so pumped after the All-Star break that he came out and has had the bad season that he's fucking, because the first half was not it. And I remember sitting in the stands going damn, dude, is this it? Are we watching the decline already? There's no way that we're seeing the decline of this dude already. And I mean, that could be on the horizon. Nobody really knows that, but maybe not even Zach. But yeah, man, this hurts as a Diamondback because I don't think he'll be back.
Yeah, and if it is the case that he's not back, it's a disappointing ending. But Niko, just to highlight your point with the frustration of Zach Gallen and the weird season and the jerseys not being in the team shop, guys, all reports indicate that the Diamondbacks were trying to move Zach Gallen at the trade deadline, and nobody wanted him, at least not for any realistic return that the Diamondbacks would have wanted. I mean, I'm sure they got like, oh, we'll give you these single A guys that are never going to sniff even triple A for that matter. And the Diamondbacks just weren't interested in that because he's going to be a free agent. Like, give us something if you want him as a rental, but he wasn't pitching good enough to where anyone even considered him to be worthy of being a rental for a push. So now we got him for our push, which is great. Like I said, I'm glad to be along for the ride, but zero expectations, as you can tell with the last 15 minutes or so of conversations. We're already looking forward to next year because even if they make the playoffs, this team is, let's be honest, not equipped to make any kind of run. And that's just the sad truth. But hey, win, lose, tie, whatever happens, we're gonna keep up to date with your Arizona Diamondbacks. We love them. We will always love them, as we do the Suns and the Cardinals as well. And we still got love for the Coyotes. We won't talk about them. We love them as well. Fellas, we're about at the 1 hour mark here. You got time for a little fun and games? What do you say?
Let's do it, man. Which one you want to do? That's the question. That's real question.
That's what I was going to ask. Should we? I guess, Niko, you're our esteemed guest here. You can choose baseball, men's basketball, women's basketball, football, hockey, soccer. But please don't do women's basketball, hockey, or soccer.
Yes, please don't.
Let's go. We're in football season. Let's go football.
Oh, yeah. I like it. All right. I will pull this up, Michael. Give me one moment. Sharing my tab. Are you able to see the grid?
Oh, yeah.
Let me see if it helps is it just a little bit? Nope, that didn't help. That made it worse, actually. All right. We'll leave it as is. All right. So we got the Jets from left side for audio only listeners on the left side. I guess starting off, if anyone doesn't know what the Immaculate grid is here, it's a 3x3 square. It's a website. I think this is done by Pro Sports Reference, the people who do like all like the Pro Basketball Reference. Yeah, Pro Football Reference up here. But anyway, so you got this grid, this empty grid, and you got on the left side here some teams. You have the Jets, the Packers, and the Giants. Kind of like a bingo board almost. And then across the top, you have the Steelers, the Bears, and then it says 20 pass touchdowns in a season. And this is a new one. I guess they've never included this thing in their grid before. But essentially what we have to do is looking at this grid, decide what player has played for the Steelers, both the Steelers and the Jets, and so on and so forth, the Bears and the Jets, the Steelers and the Packers, and fill out this whole grid to the best of our abilities. We get 9 guesses, which means we have to be perfect. So we really got to think, we cannot have duplicates. I'm really going to lean on these two here. This. I'm going to be really honest with you, but, we can start anywhere. I will allow anyone, but just right off the bat, I guess, do either of you know a player that has played for both the Steelers and the Jets?
I do. And it pains me. And it hurts my soul.
Yeah.
Chris.
Go ahead and say it, Mike. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah, it hurts my soul because this guy did not get his toes down in the end zone in Super Bowl, 42, whatever it was. San Antonio Holmes. Let's start off with that.
Ooh, that is not the direction I thought you were going to go.
Who did you have?
Well, it's funny because it also works.
Who'd you have?
It also works for the next one down. I was going to say Aaron Rodgers. But that's probably the too obvious one. I mean, because it gives you a percentage here as well, right? So,
yeah.
So 8%, I think that means 8% of people in this box have selected San Antonio Holmes. So less than less than.
Well,
10%.
I mean, yeah, if you go down this list, then you can do some easy ones too. I mean, the bottom one with the Giants and Steelers is Plaxico
Burress, right? Yeah. So do we want to? Because I've seen some people play it like that. They try and think of what the least percentage, the lowest percentage possible.
Yeah,
you can get is.
So, I'm curious because when I play this shit on my phone. I'm trying to guess the most abstract players that I possibly can.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because it has a rarity score.
Exactly.
So, but like, is that the point?
Yeah, I think you want to get like the most rare players, basically, because then it shows that you got ball knowledge, right? I mean,
yeah, I think it's like objective 1A and 1B. You know, like 1A is fill out the whole bracket. B is get the highest score, get the most rare bracket.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So let's do it
All
then.
right.
Let's go for
Going
most
for
rare.
the Packers and Bears.
What do you got?
I got for the Packers and Bears.
Yeah, why not?
Myself. Jim McMahon.
Who? Jim McNabb?
Jim
McMahon, the quarterback for the Bears.
Yeah, right there.
This guy,
Won a Super
82
Bowl with
to
him.
86.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
another 8%er, no picture.
Really? Only 8%?
But no picture. Yeah, 8%. That's crazy.
Okay. I got one for the Jets 20 plus pass TDs. I think.
Okay.
Do you think Vinny Testaverde would be on that list? He was a starting quarterback for a very long time.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, it is past.
And didn't he throw
20's
to
a lot, though.
Keyshawn Johnson a bunch though?
Keyshawn Pennington may be a better poll.
Who?
Chad Pennington.
Oh, Pennington, yeah.
Yeah.
What about Mark Sanchez? Is that too obvious?
I don't know. I know he took him to 2 straight AFC championship games, but did he throw that many passing touchdowns? And that probably would be one of the 8%ers if he did. You know.
Yeah.
I just throw in Chad Pennington, Chris. Let's do that one.
Chad
P.
Chad Pennington, 2000 to 2010. Final answer?
I hope so.
Yes, 14% Chad Pennington.
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
Another no picture. All right, we're off to a good start here. I'm trying to think of Steelers, Packers.
Yeah, dang. That is a good question.
I feel like there was a tight end at one point that had played for both. Did Martellus Bennett play for the Packers?
Hey, do you guys remember Hardy Nickerson?
No.
Hardy?
Hardy. I'll type it in the chat.
Okay.
Hardy Nickerson? What position did he play?
He played
It sounds familiar, but
linebacker for the Bucks.
are you saying he played for the Steelers and the Packers?
I believe so.
Oh, good Lord. All right, let's
Try this.
I don't know, Mike. What do you think? Are we thinking?
You want to try it? Well, okay, just hold that one off. Let's get some other ones first. Maybe that
Okay,
could
wait,
be
hold
one of
on.
our last.
Hold on. I will say I was raised as a Steelers fan, and I've never heard of no Hardy Nickerson. Also, he was only in the league for 5 seasons. Let's see if we can. We'll come back to that. It's possible.
Okay.
So Packers, obviously Packers 20 plus. The easy pickings are Favre and Rodgers.
Yeah.
Jordan Love, maybe. Has Jordan Love done that yet? But again, those are going to be like high
Did he
percent.
last year? Dude, guys.
Bro, Hardy Nickerson played from 87 to 2002. What do you mean 5 seasons?
Oh, 87? I thought it said 97. Oh, 87. Yeah, you're right. My bad. Either way, I never heard no Hardy.
I was like,
it's my eyes failing me.
Damn. Honestly, 20 passing TDs is not that much, guys.
That's what I'm saying. It's one a game plus a few games you throw two.
That's like 1.3 or like 1.2.
If you consider the 16-game season, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like we can actually do math on this.
I mean, think of other Green Bay Packers starters at some point. Because literally
not a long list. There's been like 12 of them.
I was going to say in our lifetime.
The past 25 years, there's only been 3 of them.
Yeah, because it was literally
all we've known is 3. So yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It was Favre when I was a kid.
It's been Brett and Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brett and Aaron and now Jordan.
And then Jordan. Yeah.
Who was the Packers?
Do you think Bart Starr was throwing 20 tutties?
I don't know.
Fran Tarkenton, was that one of their quarterbacks?
I thought he was the Vikings.
He was Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
He had to be shit because they drafted Favre in the first round, didn't they?
No. Brett Favre was.
Because Favre replaced some old guy too. Because it was like Rodgers did to Favre what Favre did to some other guy. I just actually heard about this. Shit. I actually did just hear about this.
Brett Favre was drafted by the Falcons in the second round.
But who did he? I guess that would be cheating if we looked up who he replaced. Well, actually, no, because we don't know. There's no guarantee he played for the Steelers.
No. Wait,
is it cheating?
Are you on to that now? I thought we were still talking about 20 passing touchdowns.
Oh, we're doing 20 passing touchdowns.
I thought we were 20 tutties.
Just
either way,
yeah. So okay,
just put in Brett.
Just Brett. Okay, he's not. Yeah,
I think Aaron Rodgers will be more.
more.
Brett Kiesel didn't throw 20 touchdowns.
It'll be less.
52%.
Wait, what?
52%, Brett.
Oh. So that means 52% of the people that guessed it put.
I believe so. Yeah.
So San Antonio Holmes and Jay McMahon were good guesses because they were low.
Yeah.
I like it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty low.
Yes.
All right.
I mean, it's not like 0.75, but it's good. It's good.
Because then if things start getting hairy and Hardy Nickerson, we're still on the fence about we can throw in Aaron Rodgers.
It's true. That's true.
We don't have to worry about that.
How much do we know about the Giants? I mean, Eli Manning is the obvious pull in case of emergency.
Yeah.
Kerry Collins.
Yeah. Throw that one up there for the 20 passing touchdowns.
For
Kerry, I believe.
Kerry Collins was that for like 2 seasons.
Oh, yeah, he played a long time. Already used. Oh.
Give it to
7.
Me. There you go, Niko.
That's a good one.
That's solid. All right.
Kerry Collins.
I'm telling you.
All right, so far we are 5 for 5. We have 4 guesses left, 4 squares remaining. We have to find a player that's played for the Jets and the Bears, for the Steelers and the Packers, for the Steelers and the Giants, and for the Giants and the Bears. 4 different players for each of those scenarios. Okay, Jets, Bears is another one. Ooh, one that comes to mind. I think Devin Hester played for both, right?
For both of who?
The Jets and the Bears.
Did he play for the Jets?
He played for another team after the Bears. I can't remember which team it was, though.
Atlanta, I thought.
Atlanta, yeah.
Was it?
Played for the Falcons. He might have played for the Jets, but that really doesn't pop out at all.
Okay, here's another one maybe for Steelers, Giants. What about Cordero
Did
Patterson?
one of the... Did he play for the Giants?
Now, Cordero Patterson played for a lot of teams, I think.
But did he play for the Giants?
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever played for the Giants.
All right. Sorry, I'm just throwing shit at the wall.
No, that's good. That's what we get to.
I think Martellus Bennett played for the Steelers.
Did one of the Bennetts play for the Jets and the... Well, that for sure. He played for the Steelers. But play for the Jets and the Bears? Did one of the brothers play for the Jets and the Bears?
Oh, that's
right. Or am I just
one of them played for the Bears.
Shooting like greens.
Oh, that could be.
Oh, man. One of the Bennett brothers played for the Bears. For sure.
Stuff. Yeah. I think they both did. I think to be together. Or one of them contract to be with them.
We got this. We got
Thanks,
this,
Andrew.
Appreciate it.
Oh my God. Oh no. Why is this so hard? I feel like it's so hard because we're trying to go like back 20 years and be like, oh yeah, you remember this guy? He played for both of them. Like maybe we need to think more.
There's probably low-hanging fruit right here.
The answers could just be right there. Yeah.
Was Tariq Cohen?
Do you play for the Jets though, or the Giants?
That's the question. He played for the Bears.
Yeah, he played for the Bears.
Oh, that's another one. I was gonna say for Steelers Giants, we could do Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but I would probably do Plaxico Burress because
that's more. Yeah. Should we just do that now? Then?
Yeah, just throw it in there. Just throw in Plaxico because. Yeah. See, 2012.
Yeah.
People...
44.
Oh, okay. Dang.
See?
All right.
I don't know.
Steelers, Packers, I feel like has to be. Oh no, we're saving that. Okay, we're saving that.
My
one
God.
for the last.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you got, Niko?
Brandon Marshall.
Jets, Bears. Yes,
You're so right. Yeah.
Yes, that's pretty bad because he was pretty good, man.
Oh, which one?
Yeah. Oh no.
2006. He was.
My autism doesn't do years.
Way longer. Yeah.
So 2006 to 2018, Brandon Marshall.
Yeah. He was in the league for way.
What did he play?
Yeah, that's got to be it.
Did he play for the Broncos as well?
The Broncos. He played for a bunch of teams. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna trust you.
Yeah, trust it.
Oh yeah.
Trust
22%. Okay. Brandon Marshall, good call, Niko. Good call. So we're down to 2. We are, what is that? 6, 7 for 7. We are looking for the Immaculate grid here, and we have Steelers, Packers player, and Giants, Bears player.
Okay, so
we're
let's
sitting on Jim Nickerson, right?
Well, yeah. So let's focus
on
Giants, Bears right now. Giants, Bears.
Okay.
I mean, maybe think about.
I always think of
Super Bowl team
offense
with Rex Grossman. Was there anybody that stood out? And then also, what happened?
Oh no! Did my grid just took a shit? Okay, hold on. It's still it. Okay. That was weird. It was going slow for a long time, but it's safe. It's good. We're still good. We still got it.
Oh, damn.
For some reason, I always start to think of wide receivers.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, because they tend to bounce teams, tight ends as well. And obviously, those are the names you're hearing a lot.
Well, what about like DNs? Did like OCU Minora ever play for the Bears or?
What about what's his name? Oh, Nebraska corner.
Eli Apple.
No, older Prince.
I don't think
Prince of Mukamura.
Did he play for the Bears? I feel like he might have.
That sounds familiar. Or did he go and play for the Lions?
I think.
Oh no!
Lions, Tigers, Bears.
Oh no! Okay, keep thinking. I feel like that's going to be a good guess. Damn.
Bears.
None of the like famous linebackers from the Bears played for the Giants, did they? Like,
I was gonna say like Briggs or Urlacher. I don't think so. Ditka, did he ever play anywhere else?
I don't know.
Dick played in Dallas.
In Dallas, okay.
Oh, he did. Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. Crap.
The Bears are just so unremarkable. It's hard to remember anything.
Antrell Roll went to the Giants, right? Where did
he go
after?
Not Chicago. Not Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm making notes of ones I want to look up after the fact.
Wait, Andrew, did you see what Andrew said? When in doubt, pick Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's played for everyone.
That's actually
I don't think he's played for the Giants.
I'm pretty sure he hasn't played for either of these teams.
I don't know. I thought he played for the Giants. I don't think he's played for the Bears though.
Oh no.
That is a good point too. Backup quarterbacks is another good one to go off of.
Chris, I feel like since we're at the 120 mark,
Yeah, fair.
Let's throw in Prince Amukamara
right here. Good call, Mike. I would have just been.
Let's try it.
It looks like it 13%.
Oh, Niko, you stud! All right,
damn,
we got to do it.
Let's go.
Throw it in there. Hardy Nickerson.
Bro, if this is right, I'm gonna shit my pants.
Okay, if this is right, wait, which one is it? There's two of these guys too. There's a new Hardy Nickerson.
It's definitely not.
It's the first one, right?
It's the first one, yeah, right, Niko? It's the older one.
Yeah.
It is the older one. It is the older one. Okay,
toss it in there. Come on.
Okay, before I do, what percentage do you guys think it will be if it is?
It's got to be 2%.
I'm guessing less than 1%. I'm talking maybe like 0.3.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's got to be. It's got to be less than 1%.
1%. 1% for Hardy. And our rarity is 169.
Oh,
I don't know what that means. Average score 6.9. Oh, that's the rarity. So our rarest was definitely Hardy for sure.
Oh, that's great. I absolutely love it.
Well, that is the Immaculate Grid, guys. Thank you for going through that. That was fun. We should do that more on roundtables, time permitting, of course. Lot to talk about going on in the Valley, but we're kind of winding down on the summer here. Phoenix Suns are going to be right around the corner, and unfortunately, as dog shit as that season is about to be, we are going to watch it and we're going to keep you guys updated on it. I'm sorry, I had to get that off my chest because I was feeling something about the Suns today, and let me just say I'm not optimistic about the season, fellas. But Mr. Benjamin, Niko, we're about to get out of here. Niko, as our esteemed guest and colleague, I'll give you the floor first to share any final thoughts you may have.
Yeah, luckily I got 2 horses in this race that we call the MLB playoffs. Secured, baby. Secured. We are one step closer to your boy getting a ring. Let's fucking go, Brewers. Shout that out. Shout out the Diamondbacks, man, making it fun, making it interesting. Big shout out to Mike for bringing me along on Sunday. We had a great time at the game together. Boys, it is the start of the NFL season. We are week 2. This is the greatest time to be a sports fan as far as I'm concerned. Optimism is high. Nobody's down. Unless you watch the Cardinals offense, then you maybe are a little bit down. But all things considered, guys, we're in a great spot. So it's my favorite time to be a sports fan. Ready to go. The Valley is always eager for good. So fingers crossed, we're knocking on wood, we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's, boys. Here.
Yeah, man. I honestly I love this time of year. I've thought it the last 2 Sunday nights when Sunday night football gets going and the sun's going down a little bit earlier and it's a little bit nicer weather. It's just the fall is the perfect time of year. I absolutely love it. And on to the winter, to my favorite time of the year. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited for sure. But Mike, thank you again as always for being on. What you got for the people?
Yes, Niko, thank you for making it out with me to that scary-ass game against the Carolina Panthers, but it was a hell of a lot of fun. It's always incredible to start 2-0 because we know, like a lot of other teams, like the Chicago Bears, it's better to be 2-0 than 0-2. But Chris, you're going to be out there with me soon. I think it's week 5, right? October 5th, when number 1 overall pick Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans make their way to Glendale. Chris will be in attendance with myself as well. Next game is going to be actually the Thursday night game against the Seattle Seahawks. And my fiance will be going with me to that game. But before we get there, gentlemen, obviously, you have to work on what's in front of you. So I really only have one more thing to say.
Damn, fuck the 49ers. Yeah, fuck the 49ers. Yeah, fuck the 49ers. Y'all a sorry ass team. Thanks. Fuck the 49ers. Damn, I hate the 49ers. I hate y'all. I hate the 49ers. Fuck y'all. Bow, 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 bow. Y'all some booty cheeks. Hey, 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 hey. Y'all lost to the Chiefs. Bow, 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 bow. Y'all some booty cheeks. Hey, 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 hey. Super Bowl losing.
Super Bowl losing streak.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week.
Oof. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys as always. I just can't say that enough. Anybody who's sticking with us at the end of this live stream, you're a real one. And anyone listening back on the playback, you are also a real one if you've made it this far. Thank you guys so much. The very last thing I have to say, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention it, is my 2025 fantasy baseball championship that was just secured this last Sunday. I did text Michael Benjamin and VSP Tallman midweek. My matchup was at 6-3. It was not looking good. At one point on Saturday afternoon, I was down 8-1, really bleak. I even texted my opponent here, Niko, in that championship matchup, congratulating him on his victory. But he knew better than to reply to that message, apparently being a bit of a man of superstition as I am. And ultimately, I'm your champion. Finally back in the saddle. I've gotten second place a few years, my first fantasy chip since 2019. So I don't want to say I needed it, but I needed it. So thank you guys. And again, we couldn't have Niko come in and win the straight ball in fantasy football league last year and then immediately win the fantasy we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Best of luck to Niko on the repeat. He's got the trophy somewhere in the compound, in the Woodruff compound. But yeah, fellas, thank you for a great season. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's what we all play for. We play to win the game. We play to win the game. But yeah, fellas, last time, thank you so much. Love talking sports with you guys. Love doing fantasy sports with you guys. So we'll keep coming at you guys. We'll be back next Tuesday at 7 p.m. with another live stream for you. But until next time, for Mr. Benjamin and Niko, I'm Chris Patrick. We'll see you then. Peace.